Y'all know we're not waiting for nobody to come in. You know what I mean? We don't do that on the channel. A lot of people don't be rocking with us anyway, so flip them the bird. Now let me stop. Flip them the bird. Now let me stop. Bye. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Mutar. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullah. Bye. Do not be doing requests on the motherfucking channel. Now, sometimes I do, but I don't know what people going to be saying and all that, so I don't usually do that. Especially I got to talk my shit and all that. But we ain't waiting for nobody to come on. Let's go. First show of 2020-26. Let's get it. Y'all know the vibes. Here we go. Hey. She like, ooh la la, ah wee wee. 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 On a Friday, first Friday of 2026. Ooh la la, best day. Ooh la la, ah wee wee. Ooh la la. Looking for M's like I lost a friend. Hop up out the bed like where's the bread? What it do, people? You're now tuned in. Popovich TV. Yes, sir. We are live. We rolling. We unscripted. We authentic. That feeling. Back up and here. One more again. So if it's your first time, then the question is, where you been? Because over here on this side, we like to deal with sports, hip-hop, entertainment, interviews sometimes. When the people don't be acting flaky. Popovisms 101, and of course, motivation. So before you run off the page and Usher to the left, Diddy to the right, on some take that shit, I'm going to need you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. You get alerted when I upload the videos, and if it's not your first time, and you've been rocking with the channel, good looking. But y'all know how I do. Y'all know how I plainly start my show. Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game now. Happy New Year's, guys. Know what I mean? First Friday of the year. Y'all know how I go. If you've been rocking with the channel, then you know I don't fucking celebrate none of this shit. I do acknowledge that the year has changed, of course. And we in the end game because unfortunately, as we talked about on New Year's Eve, right, I thought it was a game. You thought it was just jokes and playing and shit. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your record deal, your video, you out of here. That Mercedes-Benz you driving, that Range Rover, all that materialistic shit out of here. Well, for the New Year's and Happy New Year's, while they was in Switzerland, bubbling, baby. You a party animal. I thought he was saying you a wild animal. You a party animal. And you was in Switzerland having a good fucking time, popping bottles, oh, pop champagne, oh. Like you pop champagne? And while they was popping champagne, unfortunately, the sparklers was going off and all that shit. And the club caught on fire. And like 40 people has been reported of losing their life. Oh yeah, like we gonna bring in a new year. What I just said this, like, you know what I mean? A baby's born, a man dies, the beginning and end. As far as rap go, it's only natural. I explain my plateau and also what defines my name. That's Nas. Or Nas is like, you know what I mean? Freedom of jail clips inserted. A baby's being born, same time my man's murdered. The beginning and end. So while babies is being born for New Year's, right? I think it was like 2 babies they showed on the news and shit. 1 black baby, 1 Spanish baby, right? All praises due to the Most High. People are dying. And I said, you know, while you thinking you're going to go out and pop champagne, oh, you getting dressed, putting on your motherfucking hats and shit. You getting ready for New Year's. Like, this 2026. This going to be your best year ever, right? Because you figuring it out. You in your prime. All your problems is behind you. Your health is good, right? And you're going to go to the club. You're going to pop bottles, oh, pop champagne, oh, and the sparkles is going to spark rapid fire. And while you dancing and bubbling, 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 baby, you a party animal, the ceiling going to catch on fire. And while everybody's unknown, ceiling going to fall in, motherfuckers going to die. And it's unfortunate. And I'm not making light of it. I know I got energy because it's Friday and I'm happy to be here. First Friday of the new year. Yeah, kid. That feeling. So I'm happy to be here. But I'm not making light. I'm not joking about those who lost their life because it's a horrible death. According to the news reports and the story that I looked at. Like the building fell, people was on fire, and y'all know on the channel and in the real life, like trophy in the real life, or you a trophy on social media. In the real life and on social media, I want a quick death and an easy one. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get that, and I can't guarantee you're going to get that, right? You might fucking fall off a bridge. The bridge may collapse while you're driving to work. I don't know how you're going to die. I don't even know how I'm going to die, right? But what I do know is that we're all going to die. And that's why I said, do you ever think about when you're out of here? And they just in another country, but, you know, some people that they live there, right? But just, I was thinking about the club that fell in the DR. Classic Ticks, what's the word? Because I went to DR. Only one time, though, but I had a blast, right? And we was in the club bubbling, 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 baby. I was a party animal. I was a wild animal in DR having fun, right? First time there. And, you know, the club that collapsed there, a lot of people died, and they said the owners of that particular club. And it's got nothing to do with what we're talking about now, but it does, in the sense of, you know, you on vacation. You going out for the new, you think you're going to leave New York City, and I'm only saying that because I'm from New York, John Lee, and what's the word? You could have been in, you know, D.C., you could have been in Maryland, you could have been in Virginia, or wherever you was at, and you traveled thinking like, oh, I'm getting out of the States, getting out of New York, I'm going to do something different on these niggas, I'm going to go style on these bitches, right? Some people be thinking like that. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not saying those are your thoughts. I'm saying some people actually do that. While they packing their clothes and shit, they really think they're going to go style on somebody. And you doing it out the country, you in another country, you know, 10, 9, hey, like, Happy New Year, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, you going to cut them niggas off when the ball drop, and the club going to drop on your fucking head. Because the bottle girls is got the sparkles and all that shit, and then the ceiling catch on fire, and then rapid fire, that shit is like, woof. Like Eddie Murphy, or Raw, or was it Delirious? I'm not sure which one it was, but I know it was one or the other. And he like, woof, that's a fire. And again, I'm not making fun. I want to bring it to the light and bring attention to, do you ever think about when you out of here? Your days as being a parent, out of here. Your job as a lawyer or a registered nurse, the bus driver, the UPS man, the rapper wannabe, you out of here. And nobody has warning. It doesn't come like Uncle Murder warning. It doesn't come with a warning. Phone doesn't hit you up and say alert, like when the Amber Alert goes off and the child is snatched or some shit is going on. You got Citizens app. They don't say, yo, you about to have a heart attack, nigga. You about to go outside. Them dumbass niggas on the corner gonna be beefing with each other, and you going to get you a chunky monkey, fat boy, and you gonna get shot in your head, and you gonna die the first day of 2026. You don't get no warning. Nobody does. So you need to get your orders in affairs. You need to get your affairs in order, rather. I said that backwards. You need to get your affairs in order, and rest in peace to those people who was just in the club, having fun, on the video that I seen, it was the mother of one of the people who's missing, because all the bodies ain't accounted for yet. When you got 40 and, you know, over 40 bodies, over 30 bodies, and they burnt up, you know, badly, you got to do the forensics. You got to look at, you got to take different shit to identify the bodies. Like, you got to go and identify the bodies. It's just not Skillo, what's the word? Skillo 100, what's the word? Happy Friday, Happy New Year. You know what I'm saying? We talking about the horrific event that took place in Switzerland where like over, you know, 40 people died, lost their life while they was out clubbing, bringing in the new year, right? And I only brought all that. One, it's a horrific story. Two is, on New Year's Eve, on that Wednesday, I'm like, yo, just like people are born in the first, you know, hours, minutes and shit of the new year, people die. And it's written in stone, and you can dread it, you can run from it, but your destiny is going to arrive. All my destiny is going to arrive all the same. A lot of people die in the first week. You thought you was going to have your best year ever. You thought you was going to graduate. You thought you was going to motherfucking get married and do all that bubblegum shit. And the Most High is like, nah, come with me. I got other plans for you. You're not graduating. You're not having no babies. You're not getting married. You're not going to get that new promotion. None of that shit. You're on to the next. You're on to the next, you know, transition. And so just think about that for the new year, right? Because we only on January 2nd. You know what I'm saying? I got locked up in 1996 on January 2nd. Ended up doing damn near 10 years. You think you're going to have the best year ever. And what 50 Cent son says, you think you special. You think you got all this time to procrastinate, graduate, get married, you know, figure out what you're going to do, and you don't. And what song comes to mind before we get off this topic? This is just the opening, you know, topic of the show. Appreciate you rocking with me. We live on Instagram right here, Kareem Akbar. And we live on YouTube up top. So if you see me looking in the circle, I'm looking at, you know, different platforms and my own platform so I can get my own footage. But Raekwon, on his new album, The Emperor's New Clothes, or the New Clothes of the Emperors, he got a song called One Life, right? And Stacy, I don't even know the first name, the lady that's singing on it, she's like, you only get one life, one life, one life. Don't matter if you famous or what your claim to fame is. One day you gonna be nameless. Don't matter, it's the same shit. So don't worry about problems that you can't fix and be stressing yourself. Try to live in the moment. You know what I mean? Try to do the best that you can do. But we all out of here, folks. KRS-One couldn't have said it no better. That's why I started the show with that. And it's unfortunate that they went out to celebrate Happy New Year. And I did lose my train of thought, but the parent who I was talking about, I guess in Switzerland the age is 16, because she like her 16-year-old son was at the club, right? I'm thinking, damn, 16? You know, I know what I was doing at 16, but technically, if we being responsible, right? Boy or girl, you shouldn't be in a club popping bottles, you know what I mean? And bubbling, 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 baby. You shouldn't be a party animal at 16, right? And his life is over. Allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, because they still sifting through the identities of all of the 40 bodies so far that has been reported. The death toll is climbing. The death toll is climbing up. The official mayor, music, what's the word? The death toll is climbing. And it's unfortunate that, you know, people was looking for their brothers, they're looking for their sons and shit. And I said, damn, Switzerland, I guess you could go to the club at 16 and pop bottles and celebrate New Year. Your ass should have been home. But this is the last thing before we get to some other trending topics. No matter where you are, your age, your ethnicity and all that shit, newsflash, we're all going to go to the place where we die at. Let me say that again. On Instagram and on YouTube and on my own personal camera, in case this shit fuck up. I can have footage. We're all running towards death. We're all running towards the place where we're going to die at. That's a fact. You could try to push it away. You could try to not think about it. You cannot get your will in order. You cannot get your medical proxy in order. You cannot get your power of attorney in order. You could dick around and bullshit all you want. Party and bullshit and party and bullshit. You could do all those things, right? But when that shit smack and you go, your little belongings and the shit that you value, somebody gonna look like, for instance, for me, right? And I don't value this, but my background is fire. And I know on YouTube you can't see everything, but on Instagram, on YouTube, y'all can see everything. On Instagram, you can't see everything. Go to YouTube if you want to see my whole background. I buy a little shit, you know what I mean? A little Jason knife, little motherfucking Deadpool gun and all that shit, like just for my background. When I die, right, if I die tomorrow, my sister, my brother, people that love me, when they come go through my shit, look, I'm like Anthony, which is my middle name, right? He collected all this shit. That shit garbage. Get this shit to the kids. Get this shit to fucking the Salvation Army. We can't wear his clothes. The stuff that I value is not going to be valued by them. They're going to throw it away. They're going to give it away. They're going to take what they think, represents me and commemorate me. They'll take that, you know what I mean? But the other stuff, that shit is gone. That shit is gone. Nobody cares. It won't be remembered. And that's why the Raekwon song said, one day we all gonna be nameless. That don't matter if you famous or what your claim to fame is. One day we all gonna be nameless. So you should live. You should be respectful. You should cherish the time that you have with the people that you love and that love you, and not worry about shit that you have no control over. Worry about the shit that you got control over. Be in the moment, as they say. And we'll end that topic with that. 16-year-old mother looking for her son. Again, I don't know what the rules is in Switzerland because I've never been there. Maybe I have to travel there one day. But I thought that was sad that she was like, we looking for my son. He was 16 and you at the club. Now, people do what they want outside of that shit. Like, I know I don't supposed to be in the club, but I got a fake ID. And tonight we bubbling, baby. You a party animal. Let's talk about this shit, though. Let's talk about Zoro Mandani, right? If you're from New York. And I won't pound on this topic too long. But if you are from New York like I am, then you know Mayor Adams is out. Do you ever think about when you out of here? Your days as the mayor, you're out of here. No matter if you in heaven up in Harlem, smoking cigars with Big Time, right? No matter if you think you getting the black vote and you getting reelected, you're out of here. You're done. You got a new mayor. And he had the private ceremony with his wife and Letitia James, who I met. Told you I met her. If you rock with my channel, I appreciate you. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on YouTube. If you on YouTube, if you on Instagram and you don't follow me, hit the follow button. But I met Letitia James. Her little entourage. One day I was coming out of the gym, getting that money, right? Felt like I was hungry, wanted some fish and some French fries, and we went up there to 145th and St. Nick at the famous famous fish fry, whatever the name is. And I didn't know her at the time. Met her little entourage gave me a little business card, talking about they was gonna offer me a job. That shit never came. Right? Had her little assistants with her. They brought him in the private ceremony, and then on New Year's Day, yesterday, he raised his hand, put his hand on the Bible. No, not the Bible, because he's Muslim, right? Put his hand on the Quran and the Constitution book, or whatever the book they got, the book of oaths, right? The book of secrets. And yes, I'm being funny when I say that, but I'm not, right? I practice. I'm not the best. Definitely not the best. Don't profess to be the best. Don't want to be the best. Walk real lightly. Like Lil Wayne said, I walk light so I don't piss the ground off. I walk light so I don't piss the ground off, right? Or the Most High, to the best of my ability. And I still might be doing shit wrong. I only say that to say, First Muslim mayor, all right, cool. Give him kudos, right? All praises, you know what I mean? The brother's in office. We got one, right? So they say. But he's a self-proclaimed socialist, right? All these words, socialist, communist, Marxist, the leftist, the right. And when I was at a conference where Tamika Mallory was speaking, my song was there. I spoke about it briefly. Want to be name dropping, thinking I'm game. Like, let me put you on the game. Blackface, what's the word? Salute, happy 2026. I sent that thing, that little shit you sent me. I sent that shit to like 100 people. Everybody like, yo, this shit is fly. This shit is good. The New Year's shit. So salute to you for that. Take off 2026, right? But I sent it to mad people I love, people I think about, and I do hope this year is a blessed year, a great year for all of us. You know what I mean? I appreciate you sending it to me and thinking about me, even though y'all know I don't celebrate. Again, I recognize, but I don't celebrate the year changing, right? Anyway, I practice to the best of my ability, try to do right, forbid what's wrong, try to be a good individual. And I believe that about Zoro Mandani too, but in his grand speech right there down at City Hall, right, where I've been, where some important people got the key to the city, right, and I was there, took pictures with them and all that. I won't say their names. When you listen to the speech and the rhetoric, right, and then you say, damn, well, you is Muslim, but then they got dudes up there giving speeches and poems about the Transformers and the LGB5, and you on the Q train, and you start listening closely, you say some of this shit is contradiction. Now, I only mention that I'm not the best, and I probably will never be the best as far as character, doing everything right, you know what I'm saying? Because nobody really can. But I say that to say that I'm never going to take up a mantle where I'm in front of a whole lot of people and a whole lot of eyes is on me, and now the microscope is on me. Tiffany Robb, what's the word? Now the microscope is on me. Because we talked about this, like when you a Muslim now, no more dope games, like Tupac said, right? And I ain't mad at you. Oh, but you still drink. You still smoke weed. You still smoke cigarettes. You still look at porn. You still outside in the summertime looking at the ladies go by, watching windows, watching ladies go by, watching you. Right, people are going to point that out. Make no mistake about it. And I'm not saying that they don't do that to people of other faiths. If you're a Catholic, you're a Protestant, you're a Baptist. Christianity has a lot of different sectors. And y'all know I got my certificate up north, right? Like, and I got my motherfucking PhD and, Holiday Inn on these certain things. I'm being funny, but I'm not. I do got my certificate, and I did study these things while I was up north. I try to get a little higher learning, so to speak, in spirituality. So I took Bible courses. I can quote off the head certain things, and I done went to war, quote unquote, battling back and forth about different debates, who's right, what we supposed to do here, God, religion, and all that. And it leads you nowhere, because motherfuckers get mad, they get in their feelings, they leave, and nobody changes religions or their ideology. They don't change and say, oh, I'm going to turn Christian now, I'm going to turn Muslim now. I just say that to say I did a little studying. With that being said, when you profess certain things, and now you're on a grand stage, people are going to look at you and say, yo, hold on, you said you're Muslim, right? So you support LG5 and all that? They waiting for you. And Sinners and Saints, right? I seen an interview with him, not an interview, but an interaction with him and my son, right? And it was going back and forth. And it was a good debate, if you ask me. I think he kind of wiped the floor a little bit with my son. That's just my personal opinion. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, but the point will drive home. And the point is this. I don't know the brother name. I just know under his page is Sinners and Saints, right? And he asked my son, he like, yo, are you a supporter, a defender, or you're neutral about the LGB5 and the QBR train, right? And he was like, oh, I don't give a fuck what they do or whatever. I know what I am, and that's that, right? And he danced around like a politician. That nigga 52 block, you know what I mean? Like, that nigga was blocking that shit like Muhammad Ali or It Man. You know what I mean? Like It Man was blocking that shit. And the brother was basically like, yo, just can you give us a yes or no? Do you support or you don't support? Do you agree or you don't agree? Are you neutral or you not neutral? It's a yes or no answer. And as a man, whether you heterosexual or you're not, you can just say, yeah, I agree and I don't agree. Or I agree and I agree. Like, I live and let live and woo. And I brought that in just to say he had a whole lot of stuff going on, Zoro Mandani, right? And we'll see. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, not because he's Muslim, but he's the new mayor. He just got in. He never, took the political role that he took. But I'll just end on his topic with being the mayor of New York City now, right? And him professing that he's gonna, he ran as a social democrat, and he's gonna govern like a social democrat, right? That means everybody's involved. But he was saying some contradictory things. So at one ear, like, oh, he's for the people. Yeah, you get excited. And then you listen and like, oh, that don't go together. So how could it be? And then you think of Hov, like, I can lie like a train that's on the same track, on that the streets is watching. So, I say I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but y'all know me on the channel. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican, so I could give a fuck about, each side or the different sides. I'm more in the middle, meaning that I think the people should get a fair shake. The people should get what they get. I don't think the rich should get taxed just because they made it rich. I think America is a capitalistic society where we all can figure it out. I just don't think it should be shit to keep a nigga down. Let a nigga live. Like, if the game ain't fixed, then you have no excuses. You're going to get it out how you get it. You're going to get it out the mud. Or you're not. But I don't think for somebody that made it, they should be mandated to give back to somebody that can't figure it out. And you got people in there, tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich. And I'm thinking like, damn, well, if you was rich and you had a little smidget of the money, right? Would you be down here at this city hall for this inauguration screaming that the rich should be taxed? I'll wait. I'll wait. Because I know the poor, yeah, you're going to say that. The 95%, the 85%, you screaming, yeah, take 50 Cent in the money, take Donald Trump in the money, take Jay-Z, right? Take all the rich money because they figured it out, or they was disciplined, or they came up with a good lick. So now they rich. Now they hit the fucking lotto. Now they should give me. I don't believe that. But I don't believe there should be systems, things in place to keep people down. You know what I mean? Let it just be a even playing field. Now, is that pie in the sky? Is that wishful thinking? Yeah, it could be. But we're going to watch with a close eye. And I know some more than others because he's Muslim. And, they keep throwing that anti-Semitism out there. And, they're trying to catch him in the loop. And we'll see. We'll see if we get the free buses, if we get the rent stabilization, and we get X, Y, Z. Or is it just another politician put in place and you the string on the puppet master and this is some bubblegum bullshit, right? Let's get to this though. Let's get to the wrap up, right? Uncle Murder, once again another year, all praises due. Uncle Murder did the wrap up, and we talk about it every year. It's hip hop. We talk hip hop, entertainment, sports. Popovisms 101 and motivation on this channel. If you don't know, then that's what we discuss on this channel. I just put my own little spin on it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Uncle Murder been doing this shit now. We're in 2026 now. So he did the wrap up for 2025. I want to say back to 2017. Quote me if I'm wrong or not. And obviously, Mad Skillz been doing it before him, but he came and he jacked it basically, right? And Mad Skillz did one this year too. His was only like 4 minutes and 30 seconds or something like that. He had the visuals to it with him sitting down at the table, rapping about all the, the things from, Hulk Hogan and D'Angelo losing their lives. Rest in peace to the, the celebrities. I don't think Uncle Murder mentioned D'Angelo. I only listened to both of them one time. Uncle Murder's was 17 minutes, just like last year, almost 20 minutes. And it was 3 parts last year, right? It was Diddy part, Diddy 1, and then he went on everything else. You know, it's creative, it's talented enough, even though it took 17 minutes to even just do a whole recap of the whole year. A lot of shit goes on, even up to the last minute. I don't think he mentioned the Stephon Diggs or his brother, Diggs from Chicago, the Cowboys, not Chicago, getting let go and all that shit, because it's right up to the last moment and you gotta, release your song. Is it better than any other ones? I don't know if it was a standout moment for me. I know he mentioned that him and Yayo gonna have their own podcast now, and that's basically what I really want to jump in. I think this. I like the beat. I like the beats he was using. He used it. Tell Me What You Want from Mace and a couple of other beats and shit. The song is 17 minutes long, so what you expect, right? He's not gonna use the whole same beat. I think Mad Skills just used the D'Angelo, beat, right? Rest in peace to D'Angelo. It wasn't whack. Obviously, this year has been a trying year. We spoke about this on the last live. The good, the bad, the ugly, what you take from it, what you're going to be leaving behind, and what you're bringing with you in 2026, right? But I want to talk about this in this sense, as far as the song. We already know about, the Cassidy and Diddy. He mentioned the documentary with, with 50 Cent, and 50 Cent is the definition of kicking a man while he down, and all the salacious and hot one topic topics and scandals of 2025, and it's been a lot of them, right? And obviously I've been privy to them because I got a channel. I'm a content creator. Anytime it's time to do a show, we're looking to see what's the best topics to get people engaged, what people are talking about the most, put our little spill on it, and then we come and we talk our shit on Popovich TV. Hit the like button, right? But he said they got their own podcast coming now, right? And Nas, who just dropped his 7th album in 4 years or 5 years, obviously he dropped the King's Disease 1, 2, 3, Blue Magic 1, 2, 3, and then he dropped this album Light Years with Primo. But they was on the Joe Budden's, podcast, even though it wasn't all of the people on Joe Budden, it was just Joe Budden's. And he was asking them, it was kind of like a messy question, if you ask me. And like, so what you think of all these rappers, jumping into the podcast lane and woo and ah. And Nas gave, in my opinion, a good answer. You know what I mean? Like a great answer. And his answer, if you didn't watch the podcast, and I only watched like the first 40 minutes, and then I had to stop it. Nas, like, he equated it to sportscasters and ex-players who actually played the game. He like, for years it's been beat writers, people that covered hip hop from the outside looking in, never rocked the stage, never wrote a song, never had the pressures on them to top a classic, put words together, be on a song with another all-time great and make your shit fire, and compete. And he like, so to see all these rappers, now podcasters, is a great thing for hip hop. And I never took that spin, because my spin was, not on some hate shit. I'm never a hater, right? Do you? We only got one life. No matter if you famous or what your claim to fame is, do you, right? If you like it, I love it. If you love it, I like it. But I was like, in the podcast space, obviously you bring your fans. If you was a rapper, especially if you was a great rapper or you had a great career, the Cams, the Maces, Jada, Fat Joe, they both had great careers, whether you got them top 5 or not, even though a lot of people got Jada top 5, dead or alive, and that's just off one LP. The Joe and Jada podcast. He like, because these are individuals that know what a contract look like, know what a 360 deal look like. They know what it's like to recoup, to not recoup, to be under the thumb of the label, to not have creative control over your own, artistry, and your body of work, etc. So they can speak to it and they can tell the average Joe what it is, right? And then you think of Jim Jones, not let's rap about it, but artist to artist, right? Because Jim Jones, he on 2 podcasts, just like Cam. Cam is on It Is What It Is and Come Talk with Fleet. So they in the market, right? But I was looking at like, some of them can't rap no more. Not they don't have the ability to put words together no more, but niggas ain't checking for them no more. So they switch it off. And LL been jumped into, acting, and Queen Latifah having secondary careers and things of that nature. And then you say, nah, you know what? I'm going to capitalize off niggas talking their shit. I'm going to put my, hand in the pot and see what we could get out of this shit. Because apparently, it's a lot of money in podcasting. It's a lot of money in having your words and your platform continue to grow. And I think of Hassan Campbell. I'll throw his name out there only because, through the years, I follow this channel. Obviously, I subscribe to this channel. No matter my views on him, no matter your views. But I remember when the pandemic was going on, when George Floyd, rest in peace, no matter how you view him, a criminal, a fentanyl user, a pickpocketer, a $20, fake $20 bill carrying ass nigga, or as, a victim of his environment and police being fuck niggas, and, Derek Chauvin, I think that was his name, right? Piece of shit, ass cop doing the most, and all that thing. When they was riding on Fordham Road, Hassan was like, yo, telling the kids, don't get caught up doing this and shit. So from that point all the way to he is now, to where Mace coming to eat shrimp and lobster dinner with him, to him chilling with Uncle Murder, and his podcast being big, Styles P answering him back about the whole snitch situation. When your voice is big or you have a big platform, people tend to straighten up, listen up, or want to collab with you. And so it's power to a degree and influence, right? And so rappers see that like, shit, I was a popping rapper, or I was half-ass decent. I see a nigga like Academics, a.k.a. Big Act. Y'all know I'm being funny when I say Act name, right? Big Act. Talking about hip-hop, and this nigga never spit no bars, nigga never was in the booth, and, he just a culture vulture because he's from the islands, and he come over here to America, and this is America. Don't get you slipping up. So I could do the same thing, and I could bring my fan base and my audience to this shit right here and get some money, right? So I don't knock nobody for doing that, but I still was like, y'all niggas ain't rappers, y'all doing this shit, and Nas gave me a whole, different perspective. He like, yeah, I love that rappers are voicing their opinions, jumping on these microphones, etc., from an artist's perspective, right? And again, if you never spit a 16, you don't know what it is like to have an album release, etc. You don't know. You're just a fan from being a fan perspective, and I'm a fan as well. We love hip hop. That's why we talk hip hop on this channel. But I said, that's an interesting perspective, and I could dig it now. So now I'm jacking it, more so than what I was. But as far as the Uncle Murder wrap up, I would say his is better again than Mad Skills. Obviously, it don't look like Mad Skills is really trying to rap for no 10 minutes, 17 minutes, 20 minutes. Like, I was in that motherfucking booth and I was getting tired. I really was going to try it, but nah, nigga, I can't give y'all 17 minutes. Let's talk about this shit, though, right? We in the end game because Pat Poose has entered the chat. I've been seeing this spinning, right? This is another big topic that's going viral now. And I want to approach it in this sense. Every time, like, niggas is getting at each other, no matter one person is up here for however you view them, and if somebody is down here or vice versa, they equal. When the men get at each other, right? I know women call men zesty and what's the other word? Zesty, sassy and zesty, right? Call a nigga sassy, you zesty, you zest monster, right? And try to put all these shame, insult, and guilt titles on the men, right? On men, right? And all these black men, the Somalian bish, right? Your bish, the Somalian bish, all these black men, right? They put that title on us, or they try. Because they want to shame you. They want to guilt you. They want to make you feel some type of way. And even though their friends are gay, even though their friends is on that L train, that LGB5, right? The QBR bus, their cousins is on that shit. Their little brothers is on that shit. Their sons is on that shit. And it is what it is. I have no issue with it. I do, but I don't. And I'll get to that in a minute. Although they family and they loved ones is on that shit, they friends is on that shit. They getting their hair braided by niggas that's on that shit. But when they arguing with a heterosexual man, right, for the most part, that's the insult and the jab that they go to. It's like a boxer. One of the first things that you need to know when you boxing is, one, keep your motherfucking hands up. And I'm not a boxer. I'm not Mayweather. I'm not none of that. I got beat up in the street, and I beat niggas up in the street. That's how it go when you in the streets. You're going to win some, and you're going to fucking lose some unless you Mayweather. But one of the first things that they teach you in boxing, or even if you learn in the street, is you need to keep your hands up. You need to protect yourself at all times, right? And then it's the jab. That's your first. You don't uppercut first. You don't block first. You know what I mean? You keep your hands up and you learn how to jab. You learn how to throw that jab. That's the first. Let me feed you this level all day. Then when I think you had enough, then I come with the all you can. Then I come with the hook. You know what I'm saying, right? Then I come with these other things. I say that to say, the women, the first thing that they use when they arguing with a heterosexual guy is you zesty. You a motherfucking sassy man. They try to shame you, right? And I bring that up to say even the men now, Papoose, 50 Cent, I think 50 Cent allegedly, maybe kind of sort of, said some shit about Carissa Shields. And we talked about her in the last live about the Louis store incident. You know, her looking a little mad, but just really bigging up the other labels, not no black label, right? And it's black owned and everything is black, and my seeds grow with his seeds, marry his seeds. That's how we keep Wu-Tang money all up in the family. We always big the other people up. And that's a side note. That was my commentary in the last show. XO Chink, what's the word? Happy New Year's. Hope you've been doing good. Missed them Buffalo Wild Wings days. Even though we done hit Wild Wings up a few times this season, though. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is good with you, right? But anyway, 50 Cent put up like a AI video, and that's the new wave now. I'm going to put your face on the character. I'm going to throw you in the movie. I'm going to make you look gay. I'm going to make you look like a sucker. I'm going to do anything to make you look like a sucker, to shame you, to make you look bad and smear you in the public eye. And then Papoose fired back, right? Like, yo, Fabulous, line one. I ain't hear nothing about what Fabulous was saying. And we talked about this as well. 50 Cent ain't going to answer. You're going to buy the building, but you're not going to get in that booth, right? And Papoose put up some images of 50 Cent in like some tight, you know, whiteys and some spandex, some booty shorts, dancing on the couch and dancing and, you know, some gay shit. And obviously it's AI. But when you look at it, you're like, ah, man, what the fuck is going on? And I get it. A lot of people in the comments was like, if 50 Cent would have did this, we would have been cool with it. We would have been all right with it. We would have been like, yo, 50 Cent don't play. You better not troll that man. And woo, woo, woo. And And I get it. We probably would have been because we're used to 50 Cent having his way, doing what he want, you know, making memes, making people look foolish and, you know, basically, you know, trying to destroy your public image, right? Whatever that may be. He answered back on some, oh, damn, man, Papoose put up some shit in me. Well, this looked like all his women and the women he date, like handsome women. And basically why I brought this topic up, one that's trending, But in the comments, somebody commented, and this is what caught me. That's why I started with the LGB5, the QBR train, the bus. Somebody was like, damn, niggas always want to attack a nigga with some gay shit. That's the first thing. And I'm like, damn, I know women do it. And I know why they do it, right? Even though your cousin is gay, your little brother is gay and all that shit. We get it, but you really think it's an insult. You really ain't rocking with it. So you showing your hand. You acting like you cool with it, but as soon as when you want to argue with a man and it's a disagreement, first thing you saying is you zesty, you sassy, you gay, you down low. Well, if there's nothing wrong with being gay, there's nothing wrong with being a homosexual, etc., taking dick in the butt, dad. Well, like Little Kim said, there's nothing wrong with that, right? According to y'all. I think there's something wrong with it. But that's my opinion. Y'all think there's nothing wrong with it. So why is it the first thing that you do when you put up your hands to fight? Like I said, teach you to keep your hands up. And then what's the first thing after that? Teach you how to jab. So that's the first thing women do is they throw that, sassy jab on you. That zesty jab on you, right? Try to warm you up, open you up for the hook and the uppercut. That's what they do. I'm saying, yeah, why niggas doing this shit? And I'm not mad at Papoose. He defending his lady, right? 50 Cent said some shit. Now he's saying some shit back. But why are we so obsessed with the gay shit? Why are we worrying about the LGB5 and the QBR train? Why are we worrying about that? And then the comment was, why niggas want to see other men in some tight pants dancing? I get it. You making 50 Cent look bad. But either you did this shit and you on that disappear for 30 days, come back as an AI master, right? You want to learn AI. So you disappear for 30 days. Or you actually paying somebody to make images up to put on your page of a nigga dancing on some homosexual shit. Why is that even? Why not some other shit? Why do we go straight for the homosexual shit? I don't know. I don't have the answers to Papoose. I don't know why he did it. Maybe Carissa gave him a couple dollars. Said, yo, somebody make some AI shit about 50 Cent. I don't know. I don't really care outside of talking about it now on the channel. Once the channel is over and I log off and say goodbye for the night, I could give a fuck about nigga making memes of 50 Cent dancing with some tight shit, Papoose with his hair looking like mine. And I've been like this since I was 26 years old. You know what I mean? I'm in my 40s now, still looking pretty damn decent, by the way, right? I could give a fuck. But why is that the first thing that we run to? Is to make a nigga look gay. Oh, because we really think that shit is not the wave. Gotta be, right, ladies? Like, where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Where the ladies at? Y'all can't be really cool with it. You can't be walking the streets with your mans that's gay, right? Then when you arguing with a nigga, you gay, you zesty, you sassy. Because that doesn't add up. And the computers is not computing, and the math is not mathing. So I just thought that was interesting. Which brings us to this. So we in the end game because Scott Van Pelt from ESPN, right? Do we want to show the video, y'all? Yeah, let's show the video. Why not? Let's show the video. I think I got the video.
Find someone.
Yes, I have ads on my shit. And there's 2 ads on this video. There's 2 ads on this shit. All right, here we go. Happy New Year. Wow, let's get to the Scott Van Pelt.
We're watching the old version. Crazy. All right, Scott.
Get into it. Oh, what do we got? We got
nigga like, what do we got? Oh, hey, wait a minute.
Who's having a good time? Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! Y'all can go look up the clip. I just wanted to play that real quick, but we in the end game because Scott Van Pelt, senior citizen on ESPN, right? And he been around you know, since the Stuart Scott days and Booyah and all that, right? And I rock with Scott Van Pelt. I like his show. You know, he does the late night on ESPN with Scott Van Pelt. Anyway, New Year's just kicked off as we just had on, and we just was singing Happy New Year and all this bullshit, right? And that was the clip from News One. If you're from New York City, if you're not, and he's based out in Washington D.C. That's where he's from. They moved him from Connecticut. Just side note, real quick, they moved him to Washington D.C. So every night when you see him on ESPN, just in case you didn't know, he's doing a show from Washington. But that clip right there is from News One, channel News One, New York One, Spectrum. And when the ball was dropping, you know, at first they show you know, a heterosexual couple kissing, then it went to that, and I guess they was doing a segment on it. And when the two men was kissing and shit, and he like, he was about to say some other shit, and then he like, oh, okay, like he caught himself and woo woo woo, but the internet catches shit. The internet is fast on the, like quick on the 7 with my hand on the draw. 9 to your 7 with the rugged rhymes galore. Like I'm quick on the draw with the 7 and the 4, right? Like on some Method Man shit. The internet don't let shit slide past. So he's getting a lot of heat now because of this, right? And you get the PR people, you get them in line, they put out statements and shit. You know, they try to cover it up, right? And what I'll say to the people that's like, oh, he was homophobic, and you know, I know we just spoke about the LGB5 and the QBR bus, etc. And I'll just say this, right? One, when I said I don't agree, I don't. But that don't mean I'm gonna go out my way to bash, condemn, you know, kill and do all that shit to the people that's a part of it. I got people in my family that's on that side, right? You got one life to live, whether you famous and no matter what your claim to fame is. One day we all gonna be nameless and we all going back. That's a fact. So who am I to be arguing with you about what you doing in your bedroom? You can do what the fuck you want. That don't mean you ain't gonna be judged, and that don't mean people ain't gonna have opinions. But I'm not going out of my way for that. However, this is the caveat, right? That don't mean I gotta be cool with it. That don't mean I gotta accept it and be comfortable looking at it. And so basically, as a heterosexual man and an older man, he's probably a conservative, right? I'm in my 40s, Scott Van Pelt, even though he may not be that old. He look old though. Scott Van Pelt with that bald ass head, he probably look older than what he is. But I'm gonna say he might be like 53, 52. He might be like, nah, nigga, I'm younger than you, nigga. I'm 44, right? Or whatever. His first looking at it was like, oh, what are we doing, right? Because that's the natural reaction. One is not natural. So the natural reaction is you stuck. Even though they keep pushing it on us in these, you know, whether it's The Valley, which I haven't watched, P-Valley, whether it's in Power with the Tejada family and the younger brother, you know, nigga had like 3 or 4 jump offs, you know what I mean, that he was knocking down. You know, no matter that they keep pushing on us, women and women, man and man, whether it's an agenda, you're still not going to be comfortable or not have a natural reaction to something that's unnatural. You could, you know, you can argue with me about it. You know, God loves everybody. Yeah, he does. But there's certain things he don't want us to do. Now, I'm not going to argue with you about it. I can say I agree, I don't agree, and we don't got to talk about it. We can just say, yo, to you be your way, to me be my way. If you ask me about it, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to say, yo, I don't fuck with that. I don't rock with that, but I respect you as a human being. When you come in the door, I open the door for you. When you come into the bar, we sitting at the bar, I'm going to let you sit down. All that shit. Like, you can do you. You got your life to live, and I got mine. But now when you say, yo, you got to like it. No, I don't got to like that shit. I don't got to have a yay reaction and not have a, you know, a rigid moment. That's what Scott Van Pelt did. He seen that shit and was like, what we doing here? Like, he almost slipped up and said some shit. And people are getting on him. And he only a heterosexual man. And that's not cool to him. And it doesn't have to be. That's the thing. Like, yeah, you can represent all the different diversities and, you know, the equities and DEIs and all that shit. You can include all you want. But when heterosexual men see certain things, they don't have to embrace it. They don't have to keep a smile. You can say, oh, that shit was kind of, put your head down. You're not a homophobe because you put your head down. You just don't want to see that shit. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's my only point why I'm bringing it up, why it's a topic. Because he's getting ran through the coals right now. They're talking about canceling him. He on ESPN every night. And it's like, because he's seen something in real time, it's live. Even though it might be like a 5-second delay. Like, my shit is live. We live. We rolling. We are unscripted. We authentic. That feeling. So you're going to see real live action from me. I can't pretend to be something else. When the camera roll or when the camera's off, I'm me. Every day, all day. You can like it. You can love it. You can hate it. You can not fuck with it. I'm cool with either way. But when he seen it, it was like, oh, so what are we, he wanted to say like, so what are we doing? Why? It was just a natural reaction to something that he seen and his mind wasn't natural. And then lastly, we'll end this topic with, for those that like come to the church as you are, you can be who you want to be and woo, 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 and and I'll say, show me in any religious book, and I'm not the best religious person. We started the show with that. I believe, but I got plenty of flaws. You know what I'm saying? Plenty of flaws, right? I'm not perfect by no means. And I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be my authentic self. And, I hope the Most High have mercy on me when I got to check out of here. But with that being said, show me in the Torah and the Old Testament and the New Testament and the book of Psalms and the book of David and the Quran. Show me in the book of Moses and anywhere in any religious scripture where it says being with the same sex is okay. Show me anywhere. And I'll say, oh, wow, I guess I need to do more studying because I've never seen that before. Something authentic. Not no pastor in the church in Atlanta or Pasadena in California or, no matter where you at saying, in our church, we accept everybody, Christ accepts everybody as they come. I'm not talking about men opinions. I'm talking about what we all accept as scripture from the Most High. You're not going to find it. But what you will find is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. You'll definitely find that. You'll definitely find a city, a town, a state, a place where they was practicing certain practices where they got bombed and destroyed. Finished. You will find that. So we can't have both. Show me if you got it. I'll look at it. I'll read it. And again, I got Bible certificates. I took courses while I was locked up. Like 50 Cent said, niggas read books just to pass the time. And I was one of those niggas that read books. Yeah, you can say, yo, you some jail scholar, you some one of them jail smart niggas, but you still be saying the words wrong. That might be me. I'll raise my hand like, yeah, nigga, I definitely fucked that word up all the way. But I was reading. Whether I could read good or not, I was one of those individuals that took time to, try to get my education while I was in there. I got my GED, took a couple of courses, etc. College was taken out when I was in prison, so I couldn't get no college degrees. But I did just not look at porn books and watch BET all day. I definitely didn't do that for my 10 years. I did study some shit. And I've never seen nowhere. That's why I said, if you could show me, then drop it in my DMs, nigga. Put it in the comments. Verse such and such, this such and such says this is acceptable. And I'll look at it and analyze it and say, oh, you're right. I guess I missed that. My bad. But you know what? You can't show me. But again, I'm not going to be getting on my platform, fuck those people and woo. No, I'm not going to do that for what? I'm not God. And I'm not going to be the one judging you when you die. I'm going to be getting judged. We all are. But heterosexual men are going to have heterosexual responses and reactions no matter how much we see it on TV, we see it on commercials, we see it in the real life. When you walk out, there's no escaping it. You can't walk around like this, but that don't mean we got to cheese. Yeah, that was a great kiss. You finished off the show with a great, we're not going to do that. When two men start taking off their clothes in a hot, sexy, steamy sex scene, we're not going to be grabbing our popcorn and looking like, yeah, I couldn't wait for you. Seen that scene? We're not going to be like that. We're going to be like, damn, they always pushing this shit. Or damn, I hate that I got to see this. We're going to fast forward if it's actually already passed already. Power was fast forward like a line. Every time the young brother, the Spanish, the Tejadas, every time him and his boyfriend got together, I don't want to see that shit. Do it mean I'm a homophobe? No. It just means that I don't care to see it. And you can't make me be happy seeing it. That's the point. Let's talk about this shit, though. We are in the end game because Natalie Nunn, right? And you a bad girl. Nail done, head done, everything big. Nail done, head done, everything big. Oh, you fancy, huh? You fancy, huh? Nail done, head done, everything big. Nail done, head done, everything big. She getting ready, so I know we gonna be head wild. In the bathroom, flat eyes and nail files. You know what I mean? Like, look at the scale, stare at the number. You said you're dropping 10 pounds, preparing for summer. But you don't do it for the men. Men never notice. You just do it for yourself. You the fucking coldest. Like, oh, you my sweetheart. And side note, this wasn't a topic. I won't make it a topic now because I just thought about it and I didn't do the real research. But I heard Trey is in the indictment for that gambling shit. Woo! Well, they want you. They want you. They're not playing around. But anyway, this topic is about Natalie Nunn. I called it all that baddie shit because allegedly, maybe kind of, sort of, she is the Kareem Akbar of the baddies. Guess she got her own network or she got her own show because she was on Cam Newton platform. Like, yo, my bitches, I pay my bitches. Pay these bitches. They out on the track working for her because she pay these bitches, right? They getting more money than your average. They getting more money than your average. They getting more money than your regular paying jobs, right? And he was asking them, what does a baddie bring to the table? And she acting like she didn't know, you know, what he was asking her, etc. Let's play this clip from her. Let's play this clip from her so we can see what the fuck she's talking about. Thought it was funny. Thought it was interesting.
He was trying to, like, you know, gaslight, manipulate, be a narcissist, and ask questions that were just not like questions. Like, I'm not dumb. I'm really, really smart. So I navigated around that interview. And I think you should study this interview. I think girls in Hollywood should study my interview for when people put you in these type of situations, how you can pivot out of them. Because this has happened to me multiple times in Hollywood on major platforms, just like Cam Newton, and you're not about to keep playing. It is what it is. I don't know what it feels like, but hey, I really was trying to ask him, like, how does it really feel? Like, that's what I want to know. What does it feel like so I can understand?
What? She's a bird for bird trap.
What? Yeah, clearly we know now. Someone said he ain't the best, we know. But I wanted to make that clear. And so I just was being funny, running around in circles with him. And I didn't want to answer his questions because they were underlining, disrespectful, sarcastic, and you're not about to play in my face. So that's why I answered the questions arrogantly. When he said stuff about, oh, so why should a man take a baddie serious? Like, I already knew, so I said the things that I knew a man like him doesn't want to hear when a woman is a boss. When a woman makes her own money and can do what the fuck she wants.
Oh, yeah?
And part of that is absolutely true. I do believe that too. But obviously, you guys don't, like, play. I was playing my role like he was trying to play his, and the roles were being reversed on his ass. Uno, reverse.
Alright, so if y'all didn't see the clip, as I previously stated, he was basically asking her, like she just said, you know, why should a man, you know, want to deal with a baddie? What does a baddie bring to the table? And she was like, you know, she's a boss bitch and she got money. Maybe she was trolling just to go viral, but in real time, well, not in real time because I didn't see it live, obviously. It's pre-recorded. But when the clips start to, you know, spiral out, when they start to go viral and different platforms is covering it, and you're looking at it and listening to the answers, and then you're like, all right, outside of money, we get it. You made a couple dollars shaking your funky ass, right? Being on TV, throwing drinks in bitches' faces, right? Yeah, bitch. You're looking kind of funny, yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch. You know, doing the dumb shit, right? And side note real quick, I seen something else where an individual on one of these platforms was asking, did like reality TV, you know, make us be, you know, black fatigue or nigga fatigue with these certain shows, Love and Hip Hop, Ethiopia, right? Ethiopia, Love and Hip Hop and Baddies and Bad Girls Clubs and, you know, all these different reality TVs. So when you see somebody like Olivia Nunn, right? You know, a lot of clips was resurfacing of her like, yo, the monkey bitch, and, you know, disrespecting the black lady, even though I think she's supposed to be black too, mixed and shit, right? And I don't watch baddies, I don't watch bad girl clubs. Shout outs to what was her name? Ginger from the Bad Girls Club. When I was hanging out, when I still was out in the motherfucking clubs and them streets hanging out, we was hanging out with Ginger and shit. You know, her little peoples and all that. I know I was out and about, Dustin, Popovich. We stayed in the clubs. We stayed at different spots, and I always was outside, right? Not so much now. Kind of outgrown, mature. Want to leave that bubblegum shit alone. It doesn't really serve me now. Not to say I still won't go out and, you know what I mean, to the beans and stretch, keep it going to the beans and stretch, keep it going. Like, don't, you know what I mean, and keep it going. Like a nigga still get out and 1-2 on it, right? But that's not really my cup of tea no more. You know what I'm saying? But when you hear her, like Money, Baddie, and I think she was mentioning who we spoke about, and part of me, it's a side note, it's my show, I'll do what I want, no set format. When I do these lives and I do different topics, my goal is to break the topics up. I know everybody won't watch a whole live. So for instance, we talking about Natalie Nunn. When this live is over, not directly when it's over, but, you know, a day or two, I'm supposed to chop it. Then that Natalie Nunn video is a video, because everybody not going to watch the whole live. I don't get a chance to do that. I'm not a full-time YouTuber or content creator. I do go to work every day, you know what I mean? I'm out doing my job just like most motherfucking Americans. So this is like just the side stuff. I'm not monetized. I don't get paid for these videos. I do it because I like to do this shit. But anyway, I did the video about the, what is his name, Jazz Chisholm from the Yankees. And I think that's who she was talking about when she was referencing like one of my baddies, you know, she deal with a baseball player. He make way more money than her, yet she's the boss. She runs shit. She does this, she does that. So I'm like, she got to be talking about Jazz Chisholm, you know what I mean? Because he's a baseball player for the Yankees, which is my hometown, right? And he's about to be married to a person that was on the Bad Girls Club. So I'm like, damn, she got to be talking about him. And I say, you see the disrespect? She's on Fans Only. You about to get married to an NBA baseball player. He don't know you got a Fans Only. So maybe you are the boss. But when Cam was asking her, you know, what do you bring to the table and why should a man consider you and all that, it's not no really manosphere question. It's a basic question of, what do you bring? Just like anybody can ask that, and anybody should have an answer for that. Well, what do you bring? It doesn't have to be money. It could be intangibles. It can be stuff that's non-tangible. But you should have an answer for it. And it shouldn't be, I'm a bad bitch and I look good and I'm a boss bitch. And so even though now that the clips is going viral now, she got to, you know, spin the block and say, I was doing that on purpose and I knew I was going to give answers to questions that, you know, he was trying to play in my face. But how was he trying to play in your face? When you on a, you know, you're running the Bad Girl Network, or you the quarterback of this Bad Girl, you know, movement. He's just asking a basic question. Why should a man want to deal with a woman that's a baddie? And what does a baddie bring to the table? Me personally, I say besides looks and maybe some good box, if you even, you know, privy to get that, right? Basically nothing. When you even come into the table, when you a bad bitch and you a boss bitch, you a boss babe. Even if you don't say bitch and you say boss babe, I'm looking with the side eye. Like, really? Really? And I say that to say, I wouldn't come to a relationship like, yo, you know, I'm a thorough street nigga, right? Even though I am a thorough street nigga. And I'm saying that not in the bragging and the boasting. I'm saying, obviously, we all have passions. We all, you know, have stuff that we're proud about. We all have stuff that we're not proud about. And I can say, at one point in time in my past, you know, I was running the streets and I was a street nigga and I was thorough, right? But I won't come into a relationship with a woman saying, you know, what do you bring to the table? Well, I was a thorough street nigga and I'm official. What? Like, that shit is laughable. Would it be like, what, bro? What did you just say, my nigga? Please tell me you didn't just say that your credentials is you an official street nigga. Please say that that's not the case. Please say that, because you're looked at as a bozo. So that's how we're looking at her. We're not trying to shame her. We're not trying to put her down. Obviously, she brought her son $1 million pool, right? Like, she getting money. She a big fish. We getting money over here. Like, we getting money. We getting money. We getting money. We getting money. Let me take this little thumbnail. Take this thumbnail. We getting money over here. We getting money. We getting money over here. If you can buy $1 million pool, no cap, you get money. You ain't worrying about no pandemics. You ain't worrying about shit. So I get it. A nigga like me talking from my apartment building about you and what you bring to the table, you may like, nigga, please. Catching bullets with his teeth. Nigga, please. Like, nigga, please. And I get it. But in the reality, you can dread it, you can run from it, but destiny arrives. Niggas is looking like, she said, what? She a bird, it's a bird trap. You thinking if you ain't flirt, she a flirt back, you know what I mean? Like, so you can say all this shit about you was trolling, you knew the answers that you gave him because of the type of the man he is. He wouldn't want to hear those answers, or he wouldn't be receptive to it. And it just sound like bird babble, you know, bimble babble. Sound like some dumb shit. And, you know, I don't know if she with anybody. I guess she said she was with somebody. How long that's gonna last, I don't know when these viral clips go. People don't realize the internet is forever. Go ask your favorite porn stars that's, you know, got baptized after they slept with 100 men, and, you know, they took 100 balls on a head sack, you know, and they did this and this and that, and now they think just because they, you know, went to the church, got baptized, that all the things that they did on video is just going to be washed away. It's not. It's not going to be washed away. That shit is going to be here forever, ever, and ever, ever. Forever, ever. Forever, ever? No. Like, you know what I mean? Like, always for loving you. Like, always and forever. For always, forever. Like, that shit gonna be online unless the internet goes down. So you need to be mindful of what you're putting out there. And she just looked like a bird to me. I don't know in the real life if she is a bird, but I know she looks like a bird. Then we got this last shit. Fat Joe.
Some suckers out
You
there.
think it's a sucker if a man take a woman back?
Hell yeah, he's a sucker.
What?
Yes.
What? Why?
The lady that takes because the man.
And do.
So
What makes him a sucker? I
this
really
is a
want to
great
hear it.
conversation.
And do.
So
What makes him a sucker? I
this
really
is a
want to
What
hear
great
it.
makes him a
conversation,
cream
right?
eyeball?
Because he's
Especially
but I'm gonna let you go.
when you a man, I'm not saying you could do whatever you want to
Do
each his
whatever
own.
you want.
By the way, 1800.
Let me get a shot.
Okay,
To
but
each
what
his
makes
own.
him a sucker? No, you gotta tell me.
So a man that comes from nothing, who found a way to get himself out of that and do a little success in life, he gets with a girl, he makes her his queen, he treats her like his queen, he gives her everything, he hunts, goes out there, makes no excuses, no matter what the stress is, no matter what the case is, he come in the back to give her shit, she with her girls, she looking just as fly as her girls, this, that. You gotta understand, when that woman violates that, the men don't know how to handle that. and he just loses it. Because he's like, yo, you violated that. I don't, because with no disrespect, if you're a provider, you're a guy that did, especially when you come from nothing. I'm not talking about a trust fund baby. I'm talking about a person who came up from nothing and said, all right, I'm going to share this world with this woman and give her everything equal, whatever we do. And if she violates, it's a whole nother way of forgiving this and this and that. Now, we've talked about it. Like if our friends, they get in a problem with their girl or whatever, that's not our business, because 9 times out of 10 times they getting back together. And then you in the middle trying to be like, yo, this, you know what I'm saying? I learned that. You know what I mean? I lost friends over that. I used to be the dude to bring the guy to the situation.
Oh, wow.
Like, yo, let's go. Meet me out over Sabaros. Your girl over here with the what we doing to this door right here? What we doing right now?
Why you gotta be this?
And then the next day you see him with his girl riding in the car, and you like, yo, I played myself. Like, why did I even get involved?
Yeah, but this is why I think the way that I think now as a woman, because in that situation, I did have the bag, right? And he felt insecure and he used to piss me off. I couldn't understand, like, why do you not think that you're enough, right?
Right.
And I used to sun the fuck out of him. And like you were saying, what's that word you said? Emasculate him.
Woo!
And that's not a good
You
feeling.
was sunning.
All right, basically, the clip that's went viral with Joe. I don't know who the sister is. Peace, beloved. Happy New Year. Love is love. You know what I'm saying? Hope this year is a great year for you and your family. It's double standards when it comes to relationships and certain things that men can get away with, certain things that women can get away with it. You could not like it, you could debate it, you could be in disagreements with it. But as they say, don't hate the player, hate the game. You know what I mean? We don't make the rules. It just is what it is. And for men, right? When your lady cheat and you take it back, that's pretty much what the title is. You know, men lose respect the moment that they take their woman back after their woman stepped out on them. And in the comment of that particular post, a lot of women like, ladies, y'all need to take heed, so you need to stop taking your man back when they cheat, etc. and all that. And, you know, they just really don't like what the reality is, right? You know, they want to bend reality like Neo in the Matrix. You want to bend the spoon to the reality that you wanted. And it doesn't work that way. Just like things work for them that we may not agree with, or we get mad about, or we look with the side eye like, damn, I wish that double standard was for us and not for them. And vice versa, they look at us the same way. For the most part, in my opinion, I'm not a relationship guru, expert. You know, I was married. I'm divorced now. You know what I mean? I'm a divorcee. I filed for divorce, etc. They say most men don't file, most women file, right? Every size shoe don't fit every individual, so there's that. The man sexual organ is on the outside. So our shit is to the, you know what I mean? To the left, to the right. Women's is inside, right? So that's that. And what do we mean by that? A man to pop, you know what I mean, take his piece with him and leave. And that feeling, that sensation that's in a woman, in her part, that's kept with her. Not all women, but most. That's how you're set up. I'm not the most high. I didn't make you. I don't make you tick. You know what I mean? I didn't design you in all your glory, all your flaws, all your perfection. I didn't make you. But that's how most women are set up. Now, in 2026, 2025 that we just left, most women or women that get online like, yeah, because I can fuck 3 and 4 niggas and I don't got no feelings and I don't get open. I got a roster and shit. And more women are becoming like men in that way. But not the majority is set up like that. You get some good D and get dickmatized and you get, you know what I mean, addicted to the good D, that stays with you. Yeah, nigga could get it put on them and like boomerang and like, know what I mean, motherfucking Witherspoon. Don't be whipped by that pussy. You need to whip that pussy. Is what he told Marcus, right? Nigga could get whipped, especially if you ain't used to it or you ain't, you know, you never had a woman do monkey flips on you. You know what I mean? You know, wipe you down and all that. You know what I mean? Lick you up and down on some motherfucking silk shit. Baby, don't stop. Like, you can get your toes curled and get turned out as a man, of course. Of course, there's women that do it all the time. But in the grand scale of things, A man to bone, you'll bone a few joints, right? Especially if you cherry popped and you out there, and you won't get open like that. You know what I'm saying? You take your feelings, and that should stay right there in the hotel room on that bed. That should stay right there in the back of your car, your Jeep, like LL said. You know what I mean? The back of my Jeep. Let's swing an episode on the side of the road of the Brooklyn Bridge when you see cars double parked at certain parts of, you know what I mean, Bay Shore and all that in Brooklyn when niggas be pulling over. She'll probably even be saying shit like this. Nigga, show your hand. Like a nigga will leave that shit right in the passenger seat, drop you off, and go home to his lady. That's a fact. Not all, but most. So when it's then also a nigga cheating, it won't mean nothing. I know ladies, that's hard to hear. Like, what you mean it don't mean nothing? We was in the hotel, we was dealing with each other for 3 months, and I was the side piece, and that's all you was. That's all. Now when a woman do it, and it's, you know, no shame or no knock on them, when you start to cheat for no matter what reason, it's more a connection. It's more of a, you might even leave your man for this nigga. It ain't just you getting revenge because your man cheated, you forgave him, y'all been together for a while, now he acting up, and now, you know, the nigga that you been had stored in your phone, you just end up slipped, tripped on a nigga, now you thinking about bouncing. A nigga will bone a bad joint, even badder than his joint, and still won't think about leaving if shit is right in the house. Even if it may not be right in the house, it's just a bone, just a sexual urge. You know, because we design different. And I know that talk gets, oh, no, we not. We all equal. Everything the same. Men and women is the same. No, we're not. God didn't make us the same. You could take that argument up with him, or you could drop it in the comments. I'm going to read it and motherfucking keep it moving. I may not even respond. I'm being funny, but I'm not. I'm not even going to waste my time. Because if you think we're the same, then I don't have no words for you. I can listen and see what you mean, maybe. But if it's the same bimble babble that everybody's pushing, then I really can't rock with it because I don't believe that. And I know scientifically you can't prove that. Yeah, we're all human. If I cut you, you're going to bleed. If you cut me, we're both going to bleed red. We both got hearts. I got a chest. You got a chest. Mine is hard. Yours is soft. You know what I mean? Like, my shit is outside. Yours is in. There's a lot of differences, even though it's a lot of similarities. And the biggest, you know, difference is that part. And even you down with OPP, when Tretch was you know, singing the OPP song, he like, you put your heart into a part that spreads apart. Like, you got caught up in the wave. Men don't normally get caught up in the wave. Unless they was a virgin, like, again, they never, you know, been around women or had access like that, right? A guy that has access, he can have 10 rosters. He can have 20 women that he boned all in the same year, all in the same way. He may like one more than the other sexually. They may be more compatible. Women can't have all them partners like that. They just can't. Just can't. You can say, nah, nowadays they do. And I'll say, nah, you're right. Some is, you know, whatever's happening now in today's time, women are becoming more. That's why I think I'll be careful. You know what I mean? You got to be careful who you partner up with, who you pairing up with. But basically back to the reason of why a man he'll lose respect, meaning in the woman when they take them back after because like you gave away something, not that's pure and precious, unless you was a virgin. Like, nah, we know you ain't no virgin. And ain't too many virgins running around. And unfortunately, you know, our babies, and I say our babies because I work with kids, boys and girls. So I know that at 13, 14, some of them are sexually active. So when you get 21, 19, 18, you ain't no motherfucking virgin. Nigga ain't getting nothing special. You know what I mean? As far as that, it ain't nothing exclusive. Somebody had it already. That's just the facts, right? But you lose respect because a woman is like, they not just stepping out on you for a feel because you ain't doing it right. It's more emotional. It's more, I'm trying to, you know what I mean, be with you, or we might be together. I might leave my man for him because I'm getting emotionally attached. I'm becoming attached to them in a lot of ways, and sex does that for women, mostly. It can do it for men too, obviously. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, a man can bone and come right back home and put his phone on block. We've done it. With no problems at all, and never again speak to that woman. Never again. I know it's harsh. sound fucked up like, damn, niggas out here doing bitches like that. Yes, they doing ladies like that. Women are doing it too now, getting their rocks off, thinking they blocking a man and thinking, like, I fucked this friend and I got my get back. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. It ain't the flex that you think it is. And so, you know, I see women in the comments, I was laughing a little bit, because they're like, yeah, ladies, take heed. You better do your man like that too. And woo, 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 And it is what it is. That's the show that I got for you on this first Friday of New Year's. Hopefully you got something out of it. And if you didn't, then it's all good. We still enjoy, you know, spending time with you and those that tuned in. But y'all know who it is. This your guy, Popovich. Y'all was just tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic. That feeling back up and here one more again. Yeah, kid. Let's be safe on this first holiday, this first weekend of 2025. 2026.